When you're selling your home, some updates pay off and some just don't. So you have to ask yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? And what we're saying here is, does it make sense for you to be spending money on things to update your home as you're selling in order to get it sold? Now, when you're doing updates to your home and you already own it, you're not thinking about selling. You're not thinking you're going to sell anytime soon. Should you be thinking of these things? Should you be thinking of resale value? I always say you never know where life will take you. And so you should always be considering whether what you do is good for resale value, because one day you may want to sell your home. So don't put that completely out of your mind. But if you love something and it's really unique and you understand that it might not be for everybody and you're not planning to sell, go for it. Have a good time. But just remember, when we are getting ready to sell, there are some updates that we really need to think about doing and that I'm going to encourage you to do if you haven't done them already in order to help get your home sold. The first of these is painting. And I know you hear about this a lot. Some people will think, well, I can just touch up or I can just do a little bit, but that is not always the case. A lot of times when we've lived in our home, we've hit the walls, we've got kids running around, we've got pets, and we haven't done the things that we need to do to really get the house looking fresh. And you have to remember, when someone's walking in a house for the first time, the buyer, that is such a big deal. Think of all the walls in your home, and not just the walls. Think about your trim work, your doors, all of these things. Do your doors need to be repainted? Does your baseboard need to be repainted? Yes, it's not necessarily going to be a free thing. Maybe you can paint yourself, maybe you can't, maybe you want to bring somebody in, but it makes the biggest difference and it does repay. I will tell you that every single time that we end up repainting the interior of a home, because it really needs to be done, it does pay for itself. And you end up getting more in terms of your sale price than you would have. Make sure that you choose a paint that is not trendy or unusual. Paint one color throughout. I always say paint the interior of your closets white. So if someone chooses to change the paint color later, they're not dealing with painting the interior of your closets. I say that in all cases. As far as exterior paint, is your paint old? Is it chalking? Is the color really strange and no one's going to like it? Then you might want to consider painting the exterior as well. So these are important things to consider when you're selling your home. And if I haven't told you who I am yet, my name is 𝐿 Smith. I am the team leader of the Coastal Estate team with Compass. I've been selling real estate on the Space Coast for 17 years now. So hopefully I can help with some of these decisions if you're looking to sell. And the second thing is kitchen updates and bathroom updates. So you're thinking, well, Carolyn, I'm not going to renovate my entire kitchen, and I don't expect you to, but are there things that you can do that make a huge difference? Perhaps you've got old Formica counters, but you've got great kitchen cabinets. They're old, but they're lovely. Maybe you want to consider throwing some quartz countertops on there, or changing out even the cabinet hardware if that's old and dated, changing the backsplash. Things like this can really make a difference. If you're handy, I've painted my own kitchen cabinets. They were old, I like them. I did it myself. There are also companies that will come in and paint your kitchen cabinets. It can make a huge difference. Same goes for bathrooms. And what I will say about bathrooms is, let's say you've renovated your entire house. You've renovated all your bathrooms, your kitchen, everything's done. But there's one bathroom that you didn't do. Might be a hall bathroom, might be a powder room. You might want to consider doing more major work, a full renovation of that bathroom. It's amazing when we go in a home and everything's done except one bathroom. And that person who's looking to buy may be a person who's like, I don't want to do a thing. And there's a lot of those people out there. So is it worth it to you? Something to discuss with your realtor or think about. Don't forget the kitchen and the bathrooms. Number 3 is landscaping enhancements, and you hear this all the time, curb appeal, but also don't forget the backyard. It doesn't have to be a lot. We could be talking about some flowers around the front walkway, or just trimming back what you already have. A lot of us here in Florida have palm trees. When was the last time that you had the tree guy out to take down all the dead fronds that are hanging? Maybe that needs to be done. Maybe just trimming up the bushes. Are there bushes growing too close to the house? Are there trees that are hitting the roof? These things are going to come up in an inspection as well. So let's go ahead and take care of it first. Let's not make it an inspection issue. And it looks better both for photos and in person. So don't forget your landscaping. The next thing I want to talk about is staging. And a lot of times people are like, I don't want to pay for staging. Staging is expensive. Honestly, it really isn't. It depends on the size of the home, what rooms you want to have done. Generally, I say all common areas, the lanai, if you have a rear lanai, if you have a big front porch, it's worth doing that. And also the primary bedroom. They also generally put some accessories in the bathrooms and the kitchen, often the laundry room. It's really, really important. There is a reason that home builders stage their models. Think about it. They've just built a beautiful home and you could walk in and everything's done. It's gorgeous. And you're thinking, why would they stage it? What does that do for you? It changes the perspective of the buyer. It changes the perspective of how they see the space. Oftentimes we also maybe have some odd spaces. What do I do with that little weird corner or that strange area off the kitchen? With staging, show a buyer what that space would be. And I like staging even in less expensive homes, or what we would consider in our area a more moderately priced home. I recently staged a home that was priced under $400,000. It was in beautiful condition. And the seller said to me, you want me to stage in this price point? They had tried to sell that house for 2 months before they decided we're going to list it with Carolyn. And I said, yes, before we put it on the market, we're going to stage it. We're going to stage it for pictures. We're going to stage it for when people walk in. We sold that house in less than a week and they got more money than they had listed it for previously. So staging is a good thing. Don't discount your staging. The last thing we're going to talk about is pre-listing repairs. Look, we all know, hopefully you know this, you must disclose. It is Florida law. You must disclose known defects. You cannot hide those. But let's say there's things you know are going to come up in the inspection report. They're going to be an issue for the buyer. You're going to be negotiating that. That's going to change their opinion of how they negotiate at that point. Do you want to lose a buyer over something that you could fix prior to closing? Or let's say it's visible. Let's say the screens on your lanai are torn and you've got them taped together with duct tape. And you may think this is funny, but we see this all the time. Replace the screens. Fix the things that are easily fixable or that will create an issue for the buyer at inspection. Fix those. Fix those prior to putting your home on the market. You will never regret it. There are other things, and those are the big points. But if you have a question, feel free to reach out to me. You can message me, call me. I'm happy to help. Doesn't matter where you live. You could be in North Dakota. And if I can give you advice, just don't ask me about basements, and I'm happy to help. But if you are looking to buy or sell on the Space Coast, I would love to help you. My name again, Carolyn Smith. I'm with the Coastal Estate Team with Compass, and you can reach me at 321-271-0870. You can email me or you can message me through whichever platform you're watching this on. I hope you'll subscribe too, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Cheers.